Today we're going to be assembling the Shingleback Sport 5 bike rack. First up, install the tow bar tube. Use the shim provided if required. Some cars will require it, some others will not. Assemble the anti-rattle clamp as per the instruction booklet. Orientate it the right direction and install it onto the tow bar tube. Now we're going to assemble the pivot box. We're going to orientate it correctly and put the bean spacer in between the plate and the hitch mount. We need to install washers on these bolts. We need to get the second bean plate, orientate it correctly, and we need to put that in between the mount and the plate, the other plate. Washers again on the nut side. Do the nuts up, hand tight only. At this stage, it needs to stay loose. Next we're going to install these aluminium spacers. There are 3 in total. First one, we're going to start with this hole here in the middle. There are 3 holes, you'll note. We're going to start with this one closest to the vehicle. We're going to install the drumstick plate on this one. These bolts do not require a washer under the head. We're going to put the drumstick plate through, installing that through the hole, putting the aluminium spacer in between the plates. That can just flop down for now. Install a washer on the other side, on the nut side only, and do up finger tight. At this stage, you'll notice it's very loose. You can tighten up the rear bolt where the box joins the hitch mount. Next we're going to install the centre post onto the pivot box. You need to make sure the Shingleback Sport logo is facing outwards from the car. We're going to install poly washers, 2 poly washers that came in the pack, onto the bushings at the base of the centre post. Next we're going to push this through, line up the 2 bottom holes. Align the drumstick washer with the hole using the large bolt. Line all the holes up with the centre post and push it through the pivot box, making sure the hexagonal head of the bolt is aligned and sits inside the drumstick washer to lock the bolt in place. Install another nut and washer onto the other side of the large bolt of the centre post. Lift the centre post up, reach in with your finger and install the ball to the joint. Installing the handle bolt to the centre post, you need to put 2 nylon washers, one either side of the centre post bracket. Install the nylock. Once again, do this up firm and back it off a quarter of a turn. Safety latch as it comes out of the box needs to be installed. Undo the nylock bolt nut and remove the steel washer. Keep all the nylon washers in place. Install it on the right hand side or the driver's side of the car. Install the steel washer and the nylock bolt. Do this up firm but not too tight. So the safety latch can still move freely down. Next up, install the latch bolt, ensuring a metal washer is either side. install the crank handle bolt to the safety latch side. From time to time, apply a small amount of grease to the thread of this to stop it from binding. Check the safety latch and screw up the crank handle. Now tighten all the bolts. At this point we're going to install the top bar bracket to the top tube. We're going to install it on the high or the middle setting. Tighten these with a 13mm spanner and 13mm socket. Now we're going to install the top bar to the center post. It's important to note that stamped on the top bar are a 5 and a 6. This is a 5 rack carrier. Number 5 is to line up with the middle of the center post, top rack. Sit it on. We're going to make sure we're going to go from the passenger side towards the driver's side, and we're going to keep the bungees of the cradles on the left hand side of the vehicle or the passenger side. At each end, install crush tube in the ends of the tubes. We need to use the large washers and the 13mm nylock nuts. Going to tighten with the 13mm socket and 13mm spanner. We're going to install the bottom bar bracket onto the center post now. It's good to have a bike handy. Put on the rack so we can line up the center of the rear wheel with where the bottom bar is going to sit, and then find the corresponding holes. Install the bottom bar to the bracket you've just installed, lining up the only 2 holes with the ones on the bracket. Install the end caps. Use your hand or a soft mallet. Choose a stop pin location to suit your vehicle. Choose this one for now.